Okay, YouTube. Well, here we are. This is part 3. The Pioneer CT-F650. I'm still waiting for belts and stuff. But after doing a whole bunch of cleaning, it turns out I do have to remove this gigantic plastic insert in here. Okay. So I've done this once before. There's not a lot of videos about it on the internet. So I'm going to try to explain this the best that I can. Okay. So to get this gigantic plastic insert, it goes from here all the way across, all of that. To get it to come out of here, okay, you have to remove this right here. And I recommend putting a little screw right back inside. Just take this and move it out of the way. You have to remove the mechanism, okay, to get these 2 screws out that hold this bracket. Okay, so once you get the screws out of that bracket, okay, but in the front, you need to remove the screws that have washers, okay? So you have one screw right here, okay? You have another screw right here. Then you have this big one right here that's connected to this horseshoe looking thing. Do not lose that little spring. So when you take the screw off, this will open up a little bit because it's 2 pieces of metal. So take it off and set it aside. Clear a spot on your bench for parts. Okay, so, and there's another screw right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can do that right through the front here. Okay, so I'm going to take this belt off. I'm going to remove those 4 screws and this funky looking thing, and I'm going to set it aside. So I'll be right back. Okay, so with that funky looking thing taken off and those other 3 screws, okay, and I took that belt off, okay, there's really not much more to do from this side, okay? So what I need to do now is I need to take this screw out in the front. Take this screw out over here because that's the only thing that's holding the mechanism in. Okay, so let me take these 2 screws out so I can slide the mechanism back. I'll be right back. Okay, so here we are from the rear. Took the belt off, took the front belt off. Okay, so the next move is to bring the cassette mechanism back. Make sure that the record lever is taken off, okay? So you want to be able to bring this mechanism back to get to the 2 screws on the side of this bracket right here. These 2 little screws. Make sure you use the correct size screwdriver or you will strip these screws, okay? So we have these 2 little screws that have to come off. We have this little bracket here that has to come off. This 1 screw. Put the screw back in so you don't lose it. Okay? We're going to take this motor off. It has 3 screws holding it on. Take the 3 screws off. Set the motor aside. Put the 3 screws back inside the plastic. Okay? So, let me get this motor off. I'll be right back. Okay, so with the motor off, just set the motor aside. Cut every single zip tie that you see. If you see a zip tie, cut it. If you see one of these black bendy metal thingies, open it. There's another one right down here. Sorry about the lighting, but it's right here. So you want to open all these wires up to give you all the slack in the world. Okay, so I still have to get this little bracket off, okay, for this little switch right here, these two wires. Take the little screw out, take the bracket, bring it back out of the way, put the screw back in. I'll be right back. Okay, with the little bracket taken off, it's just dangling right back here, out of the way, next to the motor. Put the little screw back in, okay? Now I have to take these two screws that's holding the bracket that retains the flywheel, okay? So these two screws right here have to come out. Make sure they do not have any Loctite on them. Make sure you use the correct size screwdriver, or you will strip those little screws. These two screws have to come out. I'll be right back. Okay, now on this side of the big bracket, there's one screw in the middle right here, right down in here. These other two screws, you can leave them alone because they're connected to this switch that's behind the flywheel. So you're going to remove that all at the same time. So don't bother disconnecting this switch or any of that, okay? Just be careful when you lift it up out of there, okay? You might as well loosen this belt right here, right now, okay? To take pressure off of the flywheel, okay? Because you have to get the flywheel out to get this plastic thingy out, okay? So once we get this big bracket off, it's going to open everything all up. So let me pull that screw out, and then I'll lift this bracket off. I'll be right back. Okay, before I take that screw out of that bracket, okay, I want to disconnect the eject mechanism spring right here, okay? So all you have to do with that is unhook it right here, okay? And then just leave it alone, okay? So this thing's almost ready to come out of here, all right? So I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back in the front again because I missed a screw with a washer. Right here where this plate, the front plate, follow the wire and you'll see right back in there is a screw. Okay, in the front, way up high, is a screw. Okay, so that has to come out. So that makes 5 for the front. 5 screws for the front. Let me get that screw out of there. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back into the rear again with that little tiny screw that was hidden way up here, taken out of the front. Okay, I think the only screw left is this screw over here above the stop mechanism. Okay, because she's real loose. She's ready to come out of there. I might not even have to take the flywheel out. Last time I did this, I took the flywheel out and all that stuff. Maybe today we don't have to. We'll find out. Let me get that screw out of there, and I'll be right back. Okay, so that screw that came out of there is a long silver screw. Okay, all the other ones are short screws with washers on them. Okay, so we'll see if this will come right out of here, which would be pretty awesome to not have to move the flywheel. Ooh, okay. All right. Yeah, it's looking like that's a no. Oh yeah, I forgot. Okay, so yeah, we got to get that one screw out of this bracket so we can release the flywheel and get the flywheel out of the way. So let me get this screw out, okay, and then I can pull the flywheel out. I'll be right back. Okay, So when you try to remove the bracket with the switch and everything connected to it, bring the flywheel back at the same time, okay? So you can get this switch out from behind the flywheel without breaking anything, okay? So, you know, with this out of the way, and get the flywheel out of the way. I'll be right back. Okay, so with the flywheel out of the way, and that belt is looking pretty sad. I did order new ones. Okay, so with the flywheel out of the way, with the bracket off, the eject mechanism is behind this plastic right here. So you can see, just wiggle the thing, and it should come out of there. There it is. Okay. That's the part that everybody wants to get to. Okay. So now that I got this in my hand, so that's how that looks. Okay. Like a giant mess. Let me get this deck out of the way so I can set this down on the table. Okay. So I'll be right back. Okay. So here we are. We've got the gigantic plastic piece in my hand. Okay. And I'm going to apologize right now. First thing I'm going to do is say hit that like and subscribe button. Okay. But we're going to end this video right here, right now. Because my internet is terrible. So is my cell phone company. And if this video gets any longer, it won't upload. So, this is part whatever I said in the beginning. Okay, so we're going to stop it right here. When I come back in the next video, I'm going to explain every single thing I'm doing. Okay? So, y'all party on. Have a good day.